I know, sorry.
There are a lot more of you than I was expecting, so I printed off some of these, but I can email this to Holly and let her get it out too. We have been talking to try to help you sell your listing, how to actually do it to protect some of your sellers' value and also not maybe do a huge price adjustment, but think more like a builder. So what I brought you is my mortgage coach presentation. I know Kylie has actually taken a couple of these to her sellers in the past. So what we've done is I'm showing here 4 different options. And one, this is a house that was in, I think it was in Expo. The purchase price $585 with a 10% down on a conventional with a $10,000 seller credit. So instead of dropping the price, we're using $10,000 seller credit, and I've got different ways that works for the buyers. We can create these. You can show them on in an open house. You can have it just sitting there with me on a video. Awful, I know, but me on a video walking people through it while you're on an open house, telling people how they can actually get this home for less expensive, because people are so focused on rate when what they really mean is I want my payment low and I want to bring no money out of pocket. How do I make that happen? And people focus on purchase price. So I show them what it would save with just $10,000 off the purchase price versus doing a permanent rate buy down or even a 2-1 buy down. You as a list agent can think like a builder and offer that buy down. So this is a way to compete with all those new builds where people are so focused on rate, monthly payment. You have the ability to do that, so you can bring more specialty to your listing. So I'm going to pass around some of these packets. If you didn't get one, I'm going to send the link out to Holly if you don't mind sharing it.
Yep.
So everybody can see how this works. If you need flyers or anything like that, or just want to strategize how a loan can help you actually sell your listing a little bit quicker and think like a builder. I've been in this space for over 20-something years. I can help you do that. Just let me know. And then we also have the Buy Before You Sell program. A lot of people are not listing their homes right now because they don't want to figure out oh no, I'm going to sell my home. I'm going to be homeless for a little bit. I have to figure out where my furniture goes and then buy. We have a loan program to help them with that, where they can tap into the equity, pull it out, buy the home, or just not have to qualify for 2 homes at the same time. So if you have a seller sitting on the fence, let's have a conversation about tools you can bring to them to take some of those fears away. So that is what I want to help y'all with this week, is get your listings moving, get more listings in the door so that you can take those buyers and go help them buy a house and create some more business. So I'm going to rush through it that week. Anything? Questions?
What questions you have?
All right.
We were a great video now. So an interview with Kelly a couple weeks ago. And I know all of you grabbed a cup of coffee and watched from start to finish.
Multiple times.
You can go into the KW YouTube channel and it is on there where Kelly talks to this a lot and Kelly as well.
And it walks you through it. And I mean, really, my goal is really to help you grow your business. And I really honestly want to do that. So if there's something I can help with, let me know.
Best.
Thanks.
One of the things that I've had a lot of conversations with agents about lately is we've heard about rate, we've heard about affordability, right? At Mega Camp, there's a lot of conversations about affordability. There are options out there, but without having, or how am I selling this listing, right? With price reductions, we're having so many conversations about the challenges that exist in our industry. Without great partners, it makes it really hard to solve that problem, most of those problems. So that's one of the reasons, like when we hear from Kelly, right? Use that relationship so that you can get what your clients want, solve the problem for your clients and make them feel good about it. With that said, give me 2 kind of gratefuls, or fill somebody's bucket. Who's had something good that happened to them over the last couple of weeks since our last team meeting, or maybe you want to shout out somebody that's really helped you over the last couple of weeks. Who's got to tell me something good? Me too. 2 at 1.
I know.
No, I want to just shout out all the leadership team, who's really, poured a lot of time, into Kylie and I, as we took the next steps of into business together.
It's awesome.
Like many meetings with, with a lot of people, with Jeff, at the events, and, really appreciate that.
Give him a hand. Who else? Give me one more.
Come on, Shanti.
I'll do one. It's a twofer.
Nope,
if you
just
don't
one.
have the- Well, I'm little, so I can the Summer Bowl office, if you've not had a chance to go up there, it is incredible. It is an amazing space to be able to do your business. I know Kristen doesn't like to be heaped praise onto, but that's why it's a twofer. Mama Page, her mother, was in there putting desks together to make sure that we could get moved in. I feel very grateful for that because it meant being able to get in there and get started on my business, and not work from home anymore. So huge bucket fill for Kristen.
Yeah, if you haven't been in the Somerville office yet, it is awesome. Kristen, everybody has done such a great job of getting it up and running, see more stuff go onto the walls. We will have a grand opening at some point, toward Q3, Q4, toward the end of the year. So keep an eye out for that. Throw a bus on that one.
Open bar.
We haven't planned it yet, but
Right, so yeah, it's just coming out.
we know it's going.
I'm looking on one day.
How Pleasant Q1, maybe we'll move West Ashley next year.
Oh,
It's gonna throw more party. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
No more rips.
They're not expensive at all. They're good. A lot of fun. So we're looking forward to that. But again, stop in. The office is awesome. I worked there all day yesterday. Been up there a bunch of stuff. So it's an awesome collaborative space. Plenty of room for everybody. So yes. What's next? New faces in the room. Anybody join over the last 30 days, 60 days? See a couple. How are you? What's your name?
Camila.
Camila. I'm Vince. Nice to see you. And then Claire. Let's give a hand to all of them. Top performers. What we got? Give a hand to the top groups. They quickly on the head. Top day on the left, your day on the right. That's a lot of production.
Look at that.
What else we got? Weightcasters. Awesome. And Greg McLean or McLean crushing it. Jeez, another unbelievable month. Let's give these. Let's see a few in the room. It's a lot of production. All right, who wants to talk on this?
Oh,
Culture committee.
yeah, culture. We're doing a happy
Holly.
hour. Sorry, I'm gonna stand up. Happy hour tomorrow. This is from 4 to 6. We're gonna be at Holy City Brewery. This is a family-friendly venue. I don't know if you guys have been there, but they do have like an open space for your kids. I will personally bring my kids, just to get them out of the house. They need to wear that energy out. But we do have sponsors covering the drinks, so if you want to come, please scan the QR code, and we'd love for you to join us. Just let's have fun, guys. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I am like exhausted. The school started. We started an hour earlier. Like, I just feel like it's been chaotic, so I am ready for my drink tomorrow. So come join me. I'd love to see you guys there. And I think that's it on the happy hour.
Yeah, make sure you join. It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait. Go. Breakthrough 120. Who wants to speak on it?
I'll speak to it. Breakthrough 120 is starting next Monday. Oh yeah.
stand up for the
Well,
camera.
I-
No.
Oh my God. Hollywood. Okay.
Don't worry, I'll take care of that for you.
Breakthrough 120 starting on Monday, and you might have to adjust it because Vince is tall.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, you're right.
Goal and intention behind this is 9 contracts in 120 days. I don't know the dance like Amber does, but 9 contracts, 120 days. Sign up for this. We've got a great list of instructors teaching the squires. You know, anything you want to add to
Breakthrough.
If anyone's here that's a rainmaker, just please send the new agents that you have from your team, and they don't have to be brand new. If they've not gotten the chance to go through Breakthrough 120, and they've not done more than 5 deals, 7 deals in the last year, they need to be in that room.
Love it. What I'll say to it is that this is a new iteration based off of the old Ignite program. And Ignite had this obvious, like, we had this idea of Ignite that it was just for new agents. That wasn't actually the case. It was a foundational real estate, how-to real estate course. Breakthrough 120 is a new adaptation of that, which is designed for new agents, experienced agents, veteran. It doesn't matter who it is. If you've done less than 9 transactions, is what I would say. Is if you've done less than 9 transactions in a year, and your goal is above 9 transactions, you should 100% be in that range.
Or if you just want to cap.
Or if you want to cap. Foundationally, Amber, all of the instructors go through soup to nuts what you have to know about building your business so that it's sustainable into the future. And I said soup to nuts, yeah. You're gonna get the meat and potatoes.
I have to look that up. No.
Don't Google that.
I always am saying to my dad. So August 31st, is that Monday?
Yep. And also,
Who's teaching the first?
you.
I'm teaching.
Yeah.
He knows that. Just doing a bit. He knows that. He's talked about it all week. He knows it.
Gonna show up and do the evaluation.
Yeah, he's just doing a bit.
Honest.
Not real.
It's gonna be great. Who's teaching? So show up on Monday because we're gonna have a lot of fun, if nothing else. So it's gonna be good.
Ollie,
Good way to
you would
start.
set
Oh
up.
yeah. So anyone who's like new to Keller Williams or new to maybe the KW Tech, I'm gonna be doing like this kind of setup where we're gonna make sure that you're plugged into all the different systems, and we're gonna talk a lot about kind of, it ties into the first day of Breakthrough, where we talk about your database and kind of some of the best practices. You all know I'm very passionate I'm really passionate, really, I'd say the tech and command and stuff, but it doesn't matter which tech you're using as long as you're following the system of reaching out to your database. This is a relationship business, right, you guys? And so it's all about reaching out to your database and do you guys get overwhelmed with like the list of names that you have to call when you open up your database and you see like 500 people and you're like, oh my God, that's a lot. We kind of go through breaking it up into manageable pieces so that you have maybe a list of 25 people to call a week, and that's only like 5 people a day if you're calling Monday through Friday. So let's kind of help you work smarter, not harder in your business. So we're doing this one September 1st, 10:30 to 12. So we'll be there.
That's Tuesday.
That is Tuesday. So if you're not doing a breakthrough but you still want to talk about database, that's me. So I'll see you there.
Awesome. And then Brian Beatty is going to be teaching Real Estate Investing 101. So if you've ever been curious about getting into the investment space, he's someone you want to learn from in this
100%.
space. He is, well, I thought Vince was going to be here.
He'll have an opinion later.
But that will be September 14th. Brian, he doesn't teach many classes, so this is a great opportunity to
And I think
hear
we've
from
already
him.
got like 16 signups. So if whoever's keeping an eye on the Eventbrite and the training calendar, like way to go. Thank you. Hi guys. Dang, I should just get up here with Kristen.
Yep, you should.
Yep.
So the camera can see you.
Thank you so much to the culture committee for the Sunset Cruise. And it was kind of a my bad situation where we wanted to make sure that we promoted it. We got really excited. I promoted it before we actually booked the venue, and I would take full credit for that. So I didn't realize it was gonna book out so fast. So we are having to pivot our date. So if you've already purchased a ticket and you can't make this new date, we're happy to give you a refund for the ticket. But this is like, it's gonna be super fun. We're doing a food social. If you don't want to get on the boat, at Tavern and Table beforehand, and then we're gonna be on the boat. It's $20 a ticket for the boat, and you can bring a +1. Just please make sure you get a ticket for them. But the drinks on the boat, we are going to be getting those covered. So it's like, yes, you pay $20 for the boat ticket, but you're getting free drinks on the boat. So it's kind of like a give and take there. So it's just a little update on the day. I have updated the Eventbrite. I've emailed everyone who's made an RSVP, but we're getting that set up. So I'm excited for this one. I don't know. I just want to be on the boat. I don't know about you guys. So we'll see you guys there.
And thank you, Culture Committee, for putting this on. That's
Yeah.
amazing. The happy hour, like, y'all are doing some awesome things.
We're excited.
I know. All right, Art of Winning the Listing. We've done this series throughout this year. Education Committee has put on an awesome lineup of instructors that are experienced in their niche per se. So Dave Friedman is actually going to be teaching the Art of Winning the Listing. We've had a couple different people we try to bring in different luxury. This is a rainmaker that runs a mega team. So really good to be able to learn from him. He's been in the business for 20 years, so he's kind of seen all aspects. But yeah, that'll be September 28th, 10:30 to 12.
There's a great opportunity. One of the things that the education committee did was they realized that we have so many great minds in our KW family. So they're really spotlighting the different things that they're doing really well. There are going to be things you can take and you say, you know what, I love that. And then there's going to be things that you're like, yeah, it's probably not for my business. That's the point, right? But we've listened to so many through the year. We've had Sean up there on the buyers. We've had a lot, some others in the room talking about their systems, how they're servicing sellers and buyers, how they're getting listings. It is a great opportunity to learn from the best, right? Some you're going to take, some you won't, but make sure you attend these. And they're, again, an hour and a half. It's a great investment of your time.
Awesome. You want to speak for this, yeah?
Mega Agent Summit. So this is in Hilton Head, another great investment of time. So James Shaw, who's heard of James Shaw? There's a lot of us, some of us getting into that. If you haven't gotten into the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group, which I'm sure everybody has, make sure there's some unbelievable resources, an amazing community. With that said, Ruben Gonzalez as well is the chief economist of KWRI. There's a lot going on from a macroeconomic standpoint, much of it having an impact on our consumers, on our real estate businesses. Understanding that, being able to organize and apply that information for our clients based on their goals is a really important part of our job, right, as a real estate consultant. So learning from some of these individuals, you're going to hear from David Voorhees, some of the things they're doing with technology right now is unbelievable. I'm just going to give a quick shout out to something that's coming in a database enhancement program through Cotality that David Voorhees and the Chris Cox and the tech, I guess, gurus at Keller Williams have been working on. There's 110 million unique contacts in command. 110 million unique contacts in command. 13% of those have all four components of a good contact, be it name, phone number, address, and email. Only 13% of those 110 million. There's a massive correlation between usability of a database, a conversion of a database, and having all four of those components of a contact. What now Cotality is going to do on a quarterly basis is literally enhance our databases to get us, if I only have Kristen's info, her email, and her name, this Cotality enhancement will then take my contact of Kristen to all four components. Something that KW is bringing to the table to help agents get into more relationships with their database and ensure that we have all the data necessary. So that's some of the things that they're going to talk about also at Mega Agent Summit. And then David Brown, author, podcast, keynote speaker. So if you have the time, make sure to scan that. It's going to be an amazing event. A few of us are going to be down there. So
Charleston is hosting 3 panelists.
Charleston's hosting 3 panelists, which is awesome. And it's going to be an amazing event. So make sure you get that.
We have one reduced ticket right now. So if you email me,
First come, first
first come, first serve.
Before you buy the ticket here.
Yep.
Talk first.
The price does go up on Monday, I think is what they just emailed us. So just a heads up if you're planning to sign it.
Yep.
This is also a great opportunity to network with people in the region, even outside of the region, because supposedly they come from outside of the region as well.
Mhm.
So it's a great way if you're looking to build your referral network with other agents. This is a great opportunity to do that at a smaller level than say a mega camp or Fantasy.
This is hands down the best event the region puts on all year. Right? Has anybody been to one of these? Yeah, handfuls. It's an unbelievable opportunity to network with top producers as well as learn from top producers. So if you have the time, make sure you're there. P3 market, right?
Right.
Look at you.
Just
I'm just putting it on the radar, okay? I know we're a little further out.
Criticism of you.
I know. October 29th. Well, and I did leave one off. Business planning clinic is October 1st, so we will get that out to you all. So I kind of skipped to, for a recap.
Who's teaching that, Ken Temple?
Hopefully.
There you go. There you go. Joseph Closing.
10,000?
So we'll have that in the recap, but that's October 1st. Quarter recap is October 3rd. If you are new to
Try again.
October,
Try again.
October 29th. If you are new to our organization, quarter recap is where they dive in deep into the numbers that happened in the past quarter for solds, sales price, all that good stuff that you can use in your listing presentations, buyer presentations to be able to speak intelligently with your clients. We've had a lot of good success stories from these events. What, Joseph? Over there.
Can't look at it.
So, you'll want to be in this room. It was almost a packed house last time, so make sure to grab your seat for this. All right. Holly.
Oh,
All right, Mega
Just
Camp
like-
panel.
Happened.
Let's bring them on up. Jeff, who else? Amber, Christina.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else is on that panel? Did you get your questions? I even sent them out early. But you're like, man, that left 45. Yeah. It's actually what I'm thinking. It's fine. Get the seats up here. So oh, you want
Oh, yeah, no, we got, yeah, these are our panels.
Got them all around the corner. You're perfect, girl. All organized. You don't want to be in the middle?
I don't gotta sit down.
I just don't wanna be first. I don't care.
That's what you want the middle.
No, I don't wanna be in the middle.
Yeah, it's you.
Yes or no?
Oh, good job. Yeah, no, well. What'd you say? So, I don't know like that. All right, let's give our panel a hand. So, last week they invested time and money to go out and learn from the top of the top, out in San Antonio. So Keller Williams hosts 2 massive conferences every year. Family reunion, usually in like February. And that last year that was in Atlanta. And then in August, they always host Mega Camp. Mega Camp is usually targeted to top agents, and they'll do everything from panels to breakouts, the whole 9 yard. Keynote speakers. We got to see Simon Sinek, which was unbelievable. I've read all of his books. And it's probably, in my opinion, the best event that Keller Williams puts on through the year. So with that said, we wanted to bring up these 4 amazing agents to tell us about their experience at Mega Camp. So I sent you, which I never do, the questions ahead of time. Yeah, thanks. ChatGPT helped me. Don't tell anybody though. So you heard a lot over 3 days. By the way, this is a 3 or 4 day event, and it is packed from like 7 o'clock in the morning. Hey Nate, how you doing? All right. Come on through. It's a packed event from like 7 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night. You're just constantly going. But if you had to bring back one idea, model, or mindset from Mega Camp that every agent in this room needs to hear, what was it and why? Jeff, we're gonna throw you on the hot seat.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, first off, it was my first Mega Camp, and it was an amazing experience. I've been to large conventions in the past for other real estate firms, but I will say that this event not only was just the speaker quality phenomenal, but the organization as a whole, just the way they put everything on, the organization of all the topics was outstanding. And really, it was a wonderful way to kind of get inducted into the culture here. So thank you very much for letting me participate in that. The takeaway I got really was more of a mindset with respects to this question. And it was really, evaluating what I've done over the last few months and honestly over the last couple of years. I mean, with the use of AI, I find I at least get very excited about creating new things. And I find myself in most of the time wasting time recreating what is already available to me. And I've even noticed that here in the short time I've been here with you guys is, instead of evaluating a tool that's already in existence, I'm thinking, oh, I can recreate this in AI. I'm spending all my time doing that and then getting sidetracked when it's already here at our fingertips. And so from a mind shift standpoint, really before you start going down that rabbit hole of recreation, take a look at what you have available to you. Come see any one of us to talk about what it is you're trying to implement into your business, and let us help you to see if there's something you can already use that is ready to go. And maybe you fine tune here and there, but don't start from scratch. Utilize that time for another activity. So that was my big function.
How about you, Mary?
So it was also my first mega camp. I've been to family reunion and that was a tremendous experience, but I would say mega camp gets a little more granular. You also just have exposure to these amazing speakers like Jeff mentioned. What I brought back was what Phil Jones said, who's the author of Exactly What to Say. Saying no to the good so you can say yes to the great. And I think for me, that was the biggest takeaway, because I find in my business sometimes I will say yes to things that I know I probably should not be saying yes to, because we operate a little bit out of fear. Where's the next, paycheck going to come from? Will this deal close? Am I going to be able to pay my bills? Maybe that's just me, but saying no to good. So I'm making room for great. That was my biggest mindset shift and what I brought back.
Well, that's awesome. Write that down, please. Say no to good, say yes to great. How about you, Mike?
So this was my 16th mega camp. And I think two big things stood out for me. One was just the acknowledgement that technology is changing, but the business itself is not. And in that, I guess what I came away with is we focus a lot on lead generation, right? Which is very important. And I see lead generation as getting attention. But Mega Camp helped me or reminded me that there's a difference between getting attention and uncovering motivation. And so in my business, I think I do a decent job of getting the attention, but I don't do the greatest job of uncovering motivation. And so I think the thing that I walked away with was just being able to ask better questions and dig deeper to uncover people's motivation for buying or selling.
This is going fantastic. Always gonna start sending that question. What an answer.
What a concept.
What a concept.
One of my first things that really hit with me was don't get paralyzed by what's going on in the world, and don't get paralyzed by all the shiny objects of the things that you want to do. Right now, it's most important to pick one or two of those things. So if you've got social media, maybe one or two platforms, and then focus on your input on those platforms instead of stressing about the results, because the results will come as long as you're putting in your efforts consistently.
Oh, I love that. I love the concept of consistent effort in the right things. And an attachment to that as compared to an attachment of the outcome. So what a great aha as well. So Gary talked a lot about today's market being challenging or different. We've heard that from the talking heads constantly, but he also talked about it being a quest for the motivated buyer and seller. What did you hear at Mega Camp that changed how you're thinking about finding, communicating with, and converting the people who actually need them? Start over here on the left.
So I thought this really tied in a lot with all of you that have been here, kid up for a long time. You hear the why, right? That's talked about a lot when you're doing your initial startup, when you're assessing what you want to do for the year. Why? What's the primary motivator? And so what Gary was talking about a lot around that was going deeper. And like Mike had just said about going deeper with his clients, it's really diving in to find that motivation, but then taking it 2, 3, 4 levels further. Yes, you want to sell, great. Sometimes in the market, when it's a hot market, you can just move that. But now we need to go a little bit deeper, because we've got to really get behind their motivation to find out what that real draw is, because we're going to have harder conversations with them about what's actually taking place in the marketplace right now. What is real days on markets looking like? What can they be expecting from limited showings from time to time? So we really need to dive as deep as we possibly can and have those tougher conversations, have more of it with more and more people within our sphere.
For me, and I'm a big, sayings takeaway, that's the way I remember things, and it was, be a problem solver, not a problem seeker. So go into AI, ask what are the 50 problems that are facing buyers and sellers in my area that are keeping them from buying and selling? And then speak to every single one of those through a post, through a video, through a reel, through a live. Whatever platform you're on, solve those problems. And that's how you will find the buyers and sellers that didn't even know they wanted to be a buyer and seller.
So,
Yeah, my biggest takeaway from Gary's total talk about the quest to find the motivated buyer and seller is very similar to what Amber just said. To see ourselves as problem solvers, and so I guess what that means for me is that everybody has a different reason, right? Like I could sit here and there's a room full of sellers, but every seller has a different reason why they're selling. And so it's to uncover that reason, because along with uncovering that reason is a different, but potentially a different set of solutions, right? So that's the biggest thing that I took from that, like just making sure that I'm looking at an individual's problem to make sure that I'm offering the best set of solutions for that particular.
How are you, Christine?
I had a couple parts in that. One of them was to really focus in on your buyers and sellers that you want to attract right now and set yourself apart, is to really niche down. One of the things they said was the riches are in the niches, right? Yes.
So, riches.
Yeah. So really kind of find out who your ideal client is instead of just going, hey, I'm going to target first time home buyers. Maybe you're targeting, like the solo mom that's renting that thinks she can't buy her first home. You're then competing with a much less large pool of realtors then. And then it's really important right now also to be direct with your clients or anybody that you're talking to about the market instead of just telling them what you want to hear.
That's
Educate, be
setting
direct.
the right expectations,
Mhm.
while also setting those expectations around what their goals based on the problems that they have are.
Right.
That's a lot of leading.
I thought that was interesting though, when you were talking about the niche, right? I think
Mhm.
for those, we all think of a niche as like luxury market, right? Or you think of, townhomes downtown as like your niche. But, what Christine was talking about is the fact that you're going into a niche on an individual's given circumstances.
Mhm.
Or groups, collective certain circumstances. And I think it's a much different way to look at niches. So.
Which many in this room have built really great businesses, focusing first on niche and then going out from, right? Like I'm looking at Sean and the mid-leader subs, right? And because you can connect with them, or working moms, right? There's a connection that automatically starts right off the rip that others may not be able to have, right? Because because of the way we know it. Love that. So there was a lot of conversation about AI. My goodness, a lot of conversation about AI, social media and technology, but also about database relationships and asking better questions and leveraging those spaces to get into deeper relationship. Where do you think the biggest opportunity is for your business right now? And what specifically are you going to take it from? I'm going to start over here on the right this time. Christina, you're up.
Okay. One of the coolest tools I've heard about recently is called Zapier, and I learned about it actually not at originally Mega Camp. I learned it from Taylor Hunt, who's in Columbia, and her coaching group called Momward. But then it was brought up again over and over by a lot of the panelists that were at Mega Camp. And what it does is it just helps you automate things. So for example, one of the things I'm gonna start experimenting with is I can set it up on Zapier, where when I take a picture, business card in my chat GPT, then I can have it enter that information into my CRM. So it's already there. And then furthermore, if you wanted to, then you could say, okay, well, once this happens, then put them in my drip campaign for newsletters. So for me as a solo agent and a very busy mom with a kid that plays travel ball, that's going to be a huge piece to make things flow a little easier for me.
Love that, because you're using technology to create effectiveness and efficiency in the systems that you're already running.
Right, or systems I don't have that I need it.
Yeah, you need that. Right? So I love that.
Yes.
Like,
So when I saw that question, my initial thought was AI was probably where I had the biggest opportunity. But then the more I thought about it, I still feel like it's relationships. Like my business is very relationship heavy. Like that's just that's actually all it is. And I've been hearing like this AI, go here, go there, right? But I'm big on what I call HI, which is human interaction. And so, I'm like, you know what? Take the AI piece, right? Don't spend a whole lot of time on it, but use it to help figure out the right questions to ask the people that you're building the relationships. So my answer, I guess, is relationships, but it's using AI to help me gather the information that I need to go out and strengthen those relationships.
And then go and build even deeper relationships because of the prompts that AI can. Love it. The ideas that AI's. Love it. What do you remember?
So for me, it was random acts of marketing is not a strategy. My takeaway there is they talked about whatever you have online, it should be consistent everywhere someone looks for you. Your name, your number, your email, your location, your bio should be the same. So I've come back and really dug in to making sure that I am searchable and that what they're finding is the same thing, no matter what their pathway was to find me and no matter what the source was.
I think it was if your name, address, and phone number were all the same across, and it's easier, you're more likely to show up on AI.
Yeah, which is the way more and more people are finding agents.
Right.
There's a huge shift in where people are searching. Going from, instead of searching in Google, they're going and searching in AI. Huge. And that's even more profound when you look at generations.
Yeah, and kind of piggyback on all three of their comments was also, go deeper and be more authentic. There was a fair amount of discussion around being your authentic self, and we hear a lot of that because it's kind of like a catchphrase right now. But where it really comes to play is we need to start showing that we are human and standing out from AI. And so going deeper when it comes down to your personality. So if you're one that is a little more casual, be casual in your business photo, right? Not a hat. But be more casual, right? Go deeper with respect to what you share about yourself and your personal interests, so they can make a connection with you as a person and not just as a transaction. So that was one of the big additional pieces was, just go deep, don't go as blind.
And I will tell everybody is using technology and AI, because that's what this question is based around. However, using it to create deeper relationships or to be able to go deeper into relationships or to connect with people. That. So Mega Camp can give you 50 ideas, which you probably did. I have 17 pages of notes in a notebook, right? Of all kinds of different ideas that we want to go and implement, but our business probably doesn't need 50 new things. What's the one thing you're committed to implement right now in the next 30 days, and how will that change your business over the next 30 days? Start over here with Jeff.
So mine is really to utilize AI, and when I say AI, I'm not saying I'm going to be utilizing several different systems either. I'm choosing one platform to stick with instead of trying to use 17 different platforms for all different tasks. And I'm utilizing that one system to do a lot of the research I need done prior to a meeting, whether it's a meeting with one of you, or if it's a meeting with somebody outside the company that we're trying to onboard, and utilizing that to get that information faster so that I have more time freed up to get in front of more people, have more meaningful conversations with all of you, and be more impactful in my role.
To ask you one other question, what are you choosing? So one of the things that I've been overwhelmed with, I was candid about it, is there's so many options out there, right? I hear about this one. I hear about use Obsidian as the vault and use ChatGPT for this and Claude for that. But what are you deciding to use?
So then you're all I'm sticking with chat. Because I already know it. I already have a lot of my stuff in it. It already has my tone.
Does it use your AOL account?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I prefer with my brokerage.
Being in your mid-40s on this leadership team is brutal.
Yeah, talk to me in 4 years.
Any linked up my space.
Hey, it's coming back.
That's what I hear.
My goodness gracious. So I want to, but we just heard from Amber too. She mentioned that she's using chat. I think it's important for all of us to hear that, because I was overwhelmed by all the things that we heard about. Like, I heard in one presentation, I heard 17 different tools, AI tools I should use. And I just kind of hit the brakes for like, oh, for what? That guy was crazy. John Lee, I think his name was one, right? Yes. What we just heard from Amber and Jeff was use the one you know, and then go from there. So thanks for that. Amber, how about you?
So my word for Mega Camp was automation, and that's my one thing I brought back is looking at what I can automate. Jumping off of what Christina said, also, I want to, when I make contact with somebody, to send them a Google form that they fill out, and using Zapier, it automates into command so that it is kind of one-stop shopping, and it's doing the work for me that I'm not having to do, my ops manager isn't having to do. That's just one example, but automation was overall the word I took away with.
Well, what do you want?
I came back with, I think, 2 different things that I want to implement over the next 30 days. And I actually think both of them are things that the entire room can implement. So the first one, that we might want to write down.
Yeah.
Is a 5-5-5 challenge, right? So what that means in my world is you're calling 5 people a day. The goal is to ask at least 5 questions during those conversations with those 5 people, and to lead those conversations with at least 5 follow-ups. So follow-ups could be you're scheduling another call, you're sending own value report, you're connecting them with a lender, like that sort of thing. So that's number 1, the 5-5-5 challenge. The second thing is I got a 90-day listing sprint, but you asked for 30 days. So in the conversations we talked about having earlier, right, where you're calling people and you're trying to uncover their motivations. So empty nesters, people with job changes, right, like aging clients, right? Like you're calling them trying to figure out where they might fit into the listing world in your business. So those are the 2 things for me over the next 30 days that hopefully lead to a much larger increase in business beyond it.
It's awesome. Wonderful. How about you, Christina?
My really good friend Flor DeMaria McNally, she was on one of the panels during Mega Camp, and she recently wrote a book called how to stop asking for referrals, and she's one of my best referral partners. One of the things that stuck with me the most out of that was, I don't think she said it, but somebody said you can go through life without marriage, but you can't go through life without friends.
Simon said that.
Yes, thank you. But in conjunction with Flor, she built her business off of building relationships, not just with other agents, but also with her clients. And one of the things that she gave us that's really simple to do is when you go do your final walkthrough, she takes 2 pictures of the clients when they're out in front of the house. One is vertical and one's horizontal. But the vertical one, she takes it and she sends it to her team member, and they send it to Walgreens and they print it up for her, put it in a frame. She picks it up on the way to closing, brings it to closing and sets it face down for them. And once they get their keys, she flips it over and hands it to them. Everybody always loves it. She also videos their reactions when they get it. With the one that's horizontal, when it comes to their 1-year home bursary, then she takes that and she puts that on a mug and sends it to them in the mail. So I've already started implementing the photo at closing, and my clients absolutely love it. I almost started crying. So I'm going to keep doing that, and then I will bring in the mug once we get to the home bursaries.
That is awesome. And
Yeah.
that's creating a moment. Right? There's an amazing quote by Chip and Pan. He's called Power Moments. You create them with 4 things: elevation, pride, insight, and connection. What Christina's doing, it's not very hard to implement, is it?
No,
Literally taking 30 seconds to take a picture of them at the front. You're just making sure to take 1 vertical, 1 horizontal.
right.
And then you have a process behind that, but the moment that you're creating and the likelihood, by the way, from that moment to get a referral is unbelievable. So
And they remember it forever, yeah.
and they remember it forever. Those are great ideas. I love it. So last question for the agents sitting here today who didn't go to Mega Camp and maybe feel stuck, overwhelmed, we're probably all in a little bit of that bucket by the market, or unsure of what to focus on. What would you tell them to do tomorrow morning? Let's start with Christina.
I'm smiling because one thing I give just my personal advice to is give yourself grace. This market is hard. So keep your pulse on the market so you at least know that, and then pick one or two things that you enjoy doing to build your business and then hone in on that. And again, focus on your input, the output will come. That's my best advice.
That's awesome. Like that. Like,
Yeah, again, for me, it all goes back to relationships. We're talking about what you can do tomorrow morning. Pick up the phone and call people that you care about. Like, call them, just kind of ask them how they're doing, show them that you care, and let the conversation go where it goes from there.
if you don't know who to call somebody that you love and tell them, hey, how you doing? But it's a great call. And it gives you a lot of energy to make another call. But you,
I wouldn't tell you anything. I would ask you, what are you doing the first few hours of your day? And if you're feeling stuck, then start there and change it. Gary talks about the first 5 hours of the day are where you're going to win the morning. It doesn't matter if it starts at 5 a.m. or 10 a.m. Whatever you're doing those first few hours, if you're feeling stuck, switch it up. Movement creates momentum. And so database is still king. I mean, and that was another big takeaway is, again, just start picking up the phone, call the people who you love and tell them you love them. And then that gives you the motivation to move to the harder phone calls, which is asking for business.
I love that. You don't feel like doing the things that you want to, or that you're supposed to do most of the time. You start doing them and then you feel like them. So Amber's advice around just start moving and then you'll feel like doing it. That's how motivation is created. Jeff? Yeah, start moving.
Yeah.
So I found it very interesting that with the amount of tech that was discussed, at the same time, there was equally or more discussion around conversation, right? Having live interaction, being a resource to our people, which was very reassuring to hear. Obviously, if the organization is putting forth that message, due to the fact of research they've done, is showing that is what consumers still want. They still want to have involvement or engagement with all of us professionals in this industry versus just a bot. So in thinking of that, one of the messages I took away was stop offering to help and just help. And it was mentioned, and what they're meaning with that is when you're having these conversations, or you're posting something on Facebook, really being that resource and just, what people are dealing with, right? We know what people are hearing in the market. It's not like it was 30 years ago where you waited for the evening news to find out what was happening in the real estate market. You're getting it on your phone, you're seeing it on your computer, you're seeing, you're hearing about it constantly. So we know the fears that people have, and just addressing them right out of the gate and just being direct and showing that you are there to help them and be that resource. That was the one thing. The other thing I wanted to make a comment, jump in a little bit on, was also, simplifying everything, right? Take a breath, see what you can do to simplify your day, simplify your life, and then pick 5 people every morning and make that outreach call. Focus in on the things that you have direct control of. We don't have direct control as to what's going on in the marketplace, but we do have direct control of the activity in which we take each day. And so kicking off your day with those 5 calls, that was my takeaway. So.
I love it. Let's give this group an awesome. So that's all we have for you. Team, thank you so much. That was awesome. Unbelievable.
It's nuts to bolts or something.
What was that? Nuts to bolts. I gave you meat and potatoes. Go and implement something. I'm gonna be in business soon. Tennis shoes to basketball.
Salty. Kristen, can you go back to the Mega Camp slide?
Yes.
Have any questions?
Let me stop this real quick.
Wanna hop in with us?